All right, so our rare here
Which
is
one?
actually a mythic that we have not opened yet.
Progenitor Mimic.
It is the
I've
progenitor
seen one of
mimic.
it.
It is a phenomenally strong card, and
There's only Beetle Form Mage
I'm
on there.
almost certainly first picking it. Unfortunately, there's also War Leader's Helix far and away. I guess those are the real
Progenitor Mimic.
powerful cards here. The Progenitor Mimic is a 6 mana shapeshifter, enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, and then it gains at the beginning of your upkeep, except it gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this creature isn't a token, put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of this creature. Progenitor Mimic is insanely good. Happy to first pick it. It's definitely worthy of a 6 mana clone effect. War Leader's Helix, probably the second most powerful card in this pack, far and
Far
away as
away.
well. So let's be conscious of this. We're definitely passing a Boros signal. We're definitely passing not necessarily a Dimir signal, but probably a Dimir signal as well. And we're slamming Simic. The nice thing is Progenitor Mimic for its cost is extremely splashable, so I don't mind splashing one of those colors. All right, follow up pick. We have notable cards out of here are Crows to Gorgon, Sin Collector, Maze Glider, Maze Abomination. Lee of Decree is interesting. Boros Guildgate. Maze Glider is very good. I'm not opposed to Sin Collector, even though it's not in
Are there more
um,
colors?
of the Progenitor Mimic. I don't necessarily need to marry Progenitor Mimic. It is a very strong card, and I'd love to play it. But if we can't, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
heartbroken about it.
I guess I'm
I'm for the Gorgon right now. It feels pretty
I'm
good because
more
it
for Gorgon.
Yeah.
Gorgon feels good because it's in one of the colors that we have with our Mimic. It would be an excellent card to copy. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And copy it every turn sounds obnoxious.
Hmm.
Um, Maze Abomination's good. Uh, yeah, I think I'm okay with Gorgon here. It's a really strong card, and if
And
if we're already going in Simic, then we should be getting some evolve counters to use.
yeah, and Crozetta Gorgon will probably evolve a lot of our creatures too.
Oh yeah, it evolves everything.
So.
Gorgon's a solid second pick
Ooh.
there. All right, this pack we have a Watery Grave, which actually would work with
Yeah.
what we've already got, and it's worth a couple tickets. But we need to look at the other picks
There's
here
battering
because we
increases
have
too.
Battering Crisis, which is an evolved creature, which we might actually want here just based on the two picks that we already have.
Yeah. Armored Wolf Rider.
Not
That
that
puts us
batter,
into junk too.
not that Battering Crisis works particularly well with Progenitor Mimic, but
Not
it
it
we
doesn't
it
necessarily
it,
work
def
badly.
it definitely works well with the Corrosive Gorgon though.
Hmm.
So really, the picks for me are going to be Maze Abomination, Watery Grave, Battering Krasis, maybe Species Gorger, but more likely those three. So what do you guys?
Could you Species Gorger and copy it with Progenitor Mimic?
That'd
Yeah,
be so weird.
Watery Grave. I'm not opposed to because it's a couple tickets and it helps us fix already, which I do like.
I'd be okay with Watery Grave. I'm gonna be honest, just because.
I don't really like Battering Krasis all that much.
Yeah.
I do like Maze Abomination quite a bit, but I kind of want some tickets and fixing.
I'd kind of like to cut the evolve.
It was a little too late. We had 3 seconds left. Sorry. It's a little more difficult to do this with three people just because there's a lot of discussion to be had. No, it's not your fault. I'm just saying it's a little harder to make quick decisions. Ubulsar Gatekeepers, I'm liking here. Hidden Strings, Pilfered Plans, are the real notable cards. I kind of want the gatekeepers here. They're a good blocker. We could
Hmm.
definitely pick up some guild gates. We're gonna want guild gates if
Yeah,
we're going
Hidden
three
Strings
color.
could be really good for us since we do have at least one Death Toucher right now. But yeah, let's pick up the Gatekeepers.
Okay. Next pack, we have another
More
gatekeepers. We have a Rakdos Guild Gate. We have a Carnage Gladiator, Nivik Cyclops, Pilfered Plans, Hidden Strings. This is like the millionth Lee of Decree we've seen. I'm kind of for another gatekeepers
Yeah, let's
here.
just pick up.
All right. I mean, they're removal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
We can splash the blue then.
Okay.
We can be
Um,
Golgari.
Golgari, and then we may just get our picks by the first pack.
It's a million Nivik Cyclopses.
Okay, in this pack, it appears the choices are really just Golgari, Cluestone, and Hired Torture. I think I would just go the Golgari, Cluestone, get a little fixing.
Hmm.
It'd be nice if we could get a Guildgate. What were you gonna think?
Not opposed to Torture.
Yeah.
Because
All
it's
of
a
our
three
guys
drop.
are low power,
Yeah.
high defense.
Cluestone's never terribly exciting anyway. Okay, I'll do Hired Torture.
There's a Demir
Wow,
Cluestone.
That's.
an Armed and Dangerous.
Wow.
That
super late.
an Armed and
that's
Dangerous
so
this
good.
late should really.
Can we just hate it?
It doesn't even make sense. Well, there's nothing really for. Well, Maze Glider is actually pretty good too. We don't have a ton of multicolor that works with it yet. Crows the Gorgon is an exception that's excellent with Maze Glider. It's also Demir Cluestone for us. I think we're just taking the Armed and Dangerous, maybe even making it work if we can
If
pick
we
up.
pick up at least another Death Touch or
If we
whatever,
see
dangerous-
Arachnos Guildgate, if we see any of
Yeah.
the other guild gates, because we're just going to want to play them for the gatekeepers. It really doesn't make sense that Armed and Dangerous is remaining in that pack. It's easily a first pick. Maybe people are just super underrating
Simic
it.
Cluestone here.
Yep. Simic Cluestone, Rakdos Cluestone. Simic Cluestone would make more sense since we're Omega Light Blue at the moment, and between the Watery Grave and the Simic Cluestone would help us
We'd
a
be
lot
totally
in playing
fixed
it.
there.
Yeah. Simic Cluestone. Okay. Next pack, we have the Rakdos Cluestone here, so now we can turn on our Armed and Dangerous, also ramp us a little bit. There's also not much else for us here. Pilfered Plans, potentially.
But like I feel like Pilfer plans, there were a lot of them.
There
And
were.
if the person is passing, like if they're being passed now, then there's a good chance of getting them if we thought they were good.
And blue is our splash anyway, so it might be difficult to play it. Let's just take the Cluestone. Alright, so we got a Boros Guildgate here. I don't really like it that much since the white doesn't really do anything for us. But
the red barely does anything for us. There's also Maze Abomination.
Alright, I think we take the Maze Abomination then. It's going to be unfortunate if we can't turn on the Gatekeepers.
Maze Abomination works well with Dangerous without the...
It works well with with a lot of our guys. And we're going to definitely see some more multicolor in the next few picks. It's just a solid 6-drop.
I just want Death Touch.
Yeah, I would like some Guildgates. It'd be really nice if we could pick some up. Let's see.
Nobody wants white, huh?
It does appear that white is the open color based on this, but it's not like Lee of Decree is a super high pick for people.
Yeah, but
anyway.
even Armored Wolf Rider is a 5th to last pick.
I kind of like
Vital Burst?
Yeah.
Not likely playing it, but we'll put it in, or just take it for now. We can take the Mutant Spray in case we get some good Simic out of the next few packs. Also, remember, this doesn't work with just Evolved Creatures. It also works with Burst of Strength and Common Bond. I guess Common Bond we're not going to be able to play, but Scavenge, excellent. Yeah, Scavenge is actually a really important one. Hidden Strings now, just to diversify, pick it up, get a Cypher spell. Okay, Deathless, pretty hard to play in Limited, and Constructed for that matter. On the other hand, pretty easy to play in EDH.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Too
so
easy.
Very easy.
Too easy.
So now we're on to the Gate Crash pack. I like where we're at right now. We've picked up a solid Mythic first pick, and we have pretty good in-game plan already, and relatively good fixing already.
So yeah, now all we need is gates.
So it appears that we are a bug deck, or trying to be a bug deck.
So we want Simic
out of this pack, and Dimir.
And even Gruul,
Assemble
possibly.
the Legion.
Open to Assemble the Legion, which is probably one of the best limited cards you can get. We also have the Simic Guildgate, which is going to turn on both of our Ulsar Gatekeepers, as well as fix us.
Doesn't Golgari Charm also have Enchantment Destruction mode, too?
Yes.
I feel like let's pick up the Guildgate here.
I'm not really comfortable picking up the Assemble the Legion since we have one potential red spell and 0 actual white spells.
Yeah.
If we'd gone any sort of direction that made Assemble more likely here, I would love to pick it because, like you said, it's an extremely powerful spell. But I feel like for what our deck needs, we kind of need these gates. I really don't like first picking gates. It's never exciting.
Yeah, that's nobody's favorite.
I'd like the Slaughterhorn, but doesn't seem. I feel like the gate's more important here. Let's just pick up the fixing and the fuel for our gatekeepers. Okay, second pick, we have a Dimir Guildgate, which is also on color with us. I'm not opposed to getting that now, but there's also unfortunately Screecher. Not unfortunate, but there is a Screecher in this pack, which is probably the best.
It's the best
creature
pick
I can
we
think
can
of.
get here. I think.
There's also Ooze Flux, which works ridiculously well with like Cloudfin Raptor, and it's actually infinite with Cloudfin Raptor, and infinite with Renegade Krasis. Not Renegade, Elusive Krasis as well. So I think we take the Screecher over the Dimir Guildgate, unfortunately, because I really would like this Guildgate.
There's
but
still chances to pick up
Screecher is very strong. All right, Stomping Ground. You know, Stomping Ground is actually playable in here too. There's also Pit Fight, Nimbus Swimmer, Greenside Watcher,
Ivy Lane Denizen works really well with Progenitor Mimic if
and Crows to Gorgon as well.
And
so that's actually an engine that we could take.
As much as Stomping Grounds is great, I feel like we want to push a real strategy and let's get our Ivy Lane.
Yeah, let's get some more playable. So Ivy Lane, because of the synergies it has with Progenitor Mimic and Crows to Gorgon, I can definitely get behind picking that here. See, the really, really crappy part is we have almost 0 green creatures, so we're really going to have to focus fire on them this pack and the next one if we want to make this Ivy Lane worth anything.
Yeah,
Nimbus Swimmer is also good, but blue is sort of not blue. Wait, is blue our splash? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
So
But
blue
Nimbus
is
Swimmer does work well with Karazda Guildmate or Gorgon too.
well. Also, Nimbus Swimmer is probably one of the more splashable cards. Pit Fight is also remarkably strong, even especially based on what we already have. But let's take the Denizen. I like your logic with what it already interacts with what we have. All right, so next pick we have a Dimir Guildgate option now. There's also Frilled Oculus, Pit Fight, Slaughterhorn, Glaring Spotlight, which you can mention. I think I kind of want the Dimir Guildgate here, even though Frilled Oculus and Slaughterhorn are very good.
Yeah, we actually need to guarantee our gates.
I just want to make sure that we get 3. Once we get 3, I won't think about them anymore. But
I feel like
let's
we can
turn
still actually get a pick out of this pack too, possibly. Yeah. Even a Naturalize is fine.
I'm not 100% comfortable. I mean, possibly we could wield a Dimir Guildgate, but Gates, it looked like Gates were sniped out of that early first pack, and those are guaranteed to have a Gate, so it looks like people are actively going for Gates right now. So let's pick up the Dimir one.
When so much more removal is Gate based, I think that's smart.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Burst of Strength here I really like because we have Corrosive Gorgon as well as, wasn't there, Mutant's Prey. So it potentially lets us play Mutant's Prey. There's not a ton else for us here. Corpse Blockade's fine. Syndicate Enforcer's probably better in full block than it was in Triple K Crash. Mm-hmm. Incursion Specialist is also fine, but we're splash blue still.
Drop creatures too. So let's pick up the Burst.
Okay, I'm happy with Burst. We're a little bit creature light though, but
Corpse Blockade is good with the Mortis Starter that we passed earlier.
Yeah.
Let's take Burst. I like it. All right, now we have Greenside Watcher. We have 2 gates, so that's a reasonable pick. It's also Syndicate Enforcer. We're a little bit light on creatures, and
we want to be getting a 3rd gate anyway.
And we need green creatures for our Ivy Lane Denizen, so there's just a ton of argument for Greenside Watcher here. Okay, so we have another Burst. We also have Death Cult Rogue, which I do like a lot, especially since we look like we can easily play double black. It's evasive. So Burst versus Death Cult Rogue. I think we're creature light enough where I'd like the Death Cult Rogue. We could still potentially get another Cypher spell. We already have Hidden Strings.
Yeah. I don't like playing like tons of Burst anyway.
I like it if we have a lot of creatures, but
there's one.
We don't. So it looks like we can get another Burst here. There's also Armored Transport, which doesn't really look that good in this deck. So let's take the Burst.
Yeah.
Turn on all of our cool spells. Smite is pretty good, but unfortunately not super playable with what we've got. It's also Skullcrack, Paranoid Delusions is on color.
Yeah, let's take the Perimeter actually.
Alright, I don't think we're likely playing it, but we can pick it up. Midnight Recovery is pretty cool with our Extort creature.
With our Progenitor Mimic.
Just see that back. Illness in the Ranks is a good sideboard against the Selesnya token strategy. But let's take the Recovery because we could actually main deck it. All right, Gateway Shade here. Actually, Gateway Shade actually good for what we. Yeah, Gateway Shade a creature as well as we have a couple gates to make it more powerful. So probably playing it most likely.
Ooh, Naturalize.
All right, Naturalize is a good sideboard. We're gonna take it over a Foil Mountain.
Assemble the Legion.
So somebody's definitely in a Boros strategy with a symbol, and I hope that we don't play it against the first round because we don't look like we're terribly.
8-mana Hydroform Progenitor Mimic.
We don't look like we're terribly fast.
I get a free land every turn.
So last few picks, just a 10th Street Market into a land. Okay, so we're moving into our final pack. This is where we're really going to want to clean up on the Golgari cards out of here, and we need like 4 more creatures, and we need to get 1 more gate.
Yeah.
We absolutely
at least 1. I would like 2.
I'd like 2 more gates. I'll be satisfied with playing both our guys with 1 more.
Oh, Golgari Guildgate.
Okay, so this pack has Golgari Guildgate, Stab Wound, Cacklers,
Golgari Decoy.
Yep, Decoy's very good.
Azorius Charm.
Stealer Secrets is actually fine, but we're still trying to be light blue. Let's take the Golgari Guildgate. I don't really like it that much, but once again, these gatekeepers are very important since they're actual removal. And Stab Wound is very good too. Stab Wound
that's what I was saying. Like, we're stalling a lot already. I think Stab Wound would probably be better, even though you're taking it over a gate. It's more removal and life drain at the same time.
I guess you're right.
Because we're not going to be attacking a lot.
Yeah, I guess Stab Wound does take out things like
we have all
Wolf Rider,
and we have all these 2/4s and high toughness blockers.
As long as we have 3 toughness, Stab Wound is actually that much more relevant.
Okay, taking the Stab Wound over the Golgari Guildgate. little bit worrisome if we can't find another gate, but we'll try our best.
Axebane.
All right, Axebane Guardian here is going to help us fix and ramp. There's also...
We already have one defender also.
Yeah.
Not much else for us here, actually. Deviant Glee, but this doesn't really look like that sort of deck. What was our other defender? Oh, we have the Hired Torturer. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'm satisfied. Let's do Axebane.
Axebane works well with Progenitor Mimic.
Next pick. We've got Gatecreeper
Hey,
Vine.
it's the Risen Sanctuary. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but Gatecreeper Vine might...
I actually really like the Gatecreeper Vine
Yeah,
because we
we
have
need
the
that.
double Gatekeeper, so that way we can
We
actually...
really need that.
All right, so let's pick up the Gatekeeper Vine here. There's also Slum
Slum
Reaper,
Reaper's too
Chorus
bad,
of
but-
Might, both of which are very playable in here.
But actually,
no, not Vassal Soul, I guess.
Gatekeeper gives us something to play
Yeah.
with in, like, before the Slum Reaper comes out.
Yep,
We can be fine with that.
And Gatekeeper's a defender. It works amazing with Axebane and our Hired Torturer sort of stall plan.
Yeah.
I think Morgan made a good call with the Stab Wound, actually, because we have a lot of high toughness guys, and actually Stab Wound alongside Hired Torturer feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like side blasting them every turn. All right, looks like a lot of white
Stone
spells.
Fair.
We kind of knew white was open from this direction, but there's not much we can do about it. I think you're right. We take the Stone Fair. We get another creature. We can actually play its ability. And Stone Fair, although fairly unexciting in triple return, I feel like this card gets better in full block.
It's a green creature, too.
It's cool alongside
Yeah.
Burst of Strength. It's cool alongside Ivy Lane Denizen. I
There's
like
also
it.
Common Bond here that works well. I mean,
I wish we could make Common Bond work because it interacts well with our deck, but we're just not in white. So let's take the Stone Fair pretty happily.
yeah.
All right, we get an Azorius Guildgate here. I know it doesn't seem exciting.
Could do Xanakev Locust, too.
Xanakev Locust, I think, is better just because we're splashing the Guildgate. There's also Towering Indrik, but because of the scavenge effect, like you say, I think that's pretty important because we've got the Crows to Gorgon and the what was the other card that interacts with it again? What do we want counters again?
Stonefair Crocodile is really good with counters.
Yeah.
Group Roustabout is good, too, here. But I think Xanakev Locust is the best.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Unleashed creature's kind of... It's not that it's anti-synergy, it just doesn't work as well as you want it to with the scavenge strategy, because it's like...
No, it works better with the Gorgon, though. If you have multiple Gorgons...
Yeah, you're right. We
really
actually did that.
Yeah.
We did that, which is kind of cool. But let's take the Locust.
Unleash it, surprise block with it, yeah.
Okay. Dramatic
Terrace
Rescue
Worm.
is late. I wish we could play it. It's a little too pricey. The only thing really on color for us is the Terrace Worm, and it's totally playable. I'm cool with it. So let's take the Terrace Worm. It's not an exciting 7-drop, but with the amount of ramp we have, we can totally make it work.
There's
your
Golgari.
Golgari Charm.
So we've got Golgari Charm, Civic Saber. Doesn't look very good in this deck.
Is it set?
Monitor is good. We can't play the Staticaster. I'm cool with the Golgari Charm here. It's actually a pretty useful spell.
Yeah, regenning our creatures.
Regen is very good.
Mind Rat.
Mind Rot.
I don't mind Mind Rot, actually.
All right. Could play it. Like we said, more playable.
Oh, Selesnya Guildgate.
More playable in full block
What?
I'd grab the Guildgate.
than it is here. Yeah, we're gonna take the Guildgate and play it. Seems weird because we're not, in white at all. But keep in mind we have a Greenside Watcher, we have 2 Ubulsar Gatekeepers,
Yeah.
and we have the Gatekeeper Vine. Not that you need to search up a
I can't
gate
believe
with
there's
the
an
Gatekeeper Vine,
Azorius
but
Charm in this pack.
maybe no one's in Azorius. I don't know. But we have enough gates. That's the good news. Nothing very good
Nobody's
here.
playing white.
Could take the downsize. It's actually a reasonable trick we could sideboard into potentially because we have such good blockers.
Otherwise, Cremate's
Yeah, I was
pretty
actually
good.
thinking
All right.
Cremate was fine.
Cremate's actually decent against this scavenge strategy, but I've never actually sideboarded into it.
Risen Sanctuary.
Potentially we could play the Risen Sanctuary actually pretty easily on the back of if you think about the white that we have access to, it's Gate Creeper, Selesnya Guildgate, and Axebane, so it's possible. Not likely that we play it since it's probably unnecessary,
It's the
but
best card we
Yeah.
we'll take it. We were kind of passing some Ethereal Armors. Maybe we're better off hating them, but it's better to take a card for your sideboard
Let's
than
do
it is to
Destroy
hate a
the
card.
Evidence.
Yeah,
Okay.
do it.
Because it does seem like it's a set where people could be
Oh, Axebane Stag. That plays better than our Risen
than
Sanctuary.
splashing.
Selesnya Sanctuary.
So white was the open color in pack 3 and 1.
It was the open
but
color all around.
but I'm still really happy with the sheer strength of our creatures that we did end up with, and we probably don't even need to play the Clue Stones at this point. In fact, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say we don't need to play the Clue Stones. We have the Axebane. We have
Do we have a Golgari one?
a Guildgate.
No, Cluestone. No, we got a Rakdos one.
No, and we don't need it because we have the Axebane, so we can still play Armed and Dangerous.
Okay.
Let's put in our good spells for now. Spells we for sure want. Maybe not the Midnight Recovery, but we'll put it in for now. I will say the Maze Abomination looks a little less exciting here, but the nice thing about Maze Abomination is it's awesome on its own.
Yeah, it's already got that touch.
Yeah, and it's a very good power and toughness. Maybe play the Mutant Spray. We'll keep it open. I don't think we're doing we're not exactly a Phyto Burst deck.
That's okay.
Still
Somebody
fine,
else
yeah.
isn't playing Phyto Burst, which is nice.
Gary Charm, this thing, definitely this, this. This is actually 23, so this is a deck in itself right here. It's 16 creatures. We have excellent number of gates and removal. I like the way this deck looks. What do you think? And actually, the Gateway Shade just got insane with the amount of gates that we have.
Actually,
I like our fixing quite a bit. We're like we said earlier, we're super light blue. I do still think this is a 17 land deck, although the argument could be made with the Gate Creeper and the Axebane that we possibly are 16. Maybe we don't want to play the Midnight Recovery, and we want to do the Risen Sanctuary instead as just another finisher. I know the white may seem difficult to get, but like I said, we have the Guild Gate, which we can search up with Divine, and we have the Axebane Guardian. So we don't even need to play a white source, and I feel comfortable that we could get it. We have 3 ways to get a white source in our deck already. And how many ways do we have to get the red source for the Armed and Dangerous? Just the
one.
I guess the Gate Creeper Vine can't do it. So really the only way we have it is Axebane for Armed and Dangerous.
Which provides an argument for Midnight Recovery, honestly. If you wanted to play another big creature, play Axebane Stake. Because then you
have to do the white. I guess that's true. Okay, so let's do the Stag. Typically not exciting in triple return, but who knows? This card probably is a lot better in full block.
It's a 6/7.
When you're ramping into it off an Axebane, I can see that being pretty relevant. I mean, it's pretty difficult to kill a 7 toughness creature. All right, so if oh, we have to cut something. I see. Okay. I don't really like cutting the Armed and Dangerous because the thing about it is we can still just do the Dangerous.
Yeah.
I think that lure effect is amazing.
So I think we stick with this, even if we can't make the Armed work. It's still good enough. So we do want to.
It's not even that we can't make it work, just not consistently.
Let's cut the Mutant Spray. It doesn't seem like we can really make it work, even though we have the double burst. It doesn't seem likely, and we still have enough synergies with the counters and our Corrodes to Gorgon and stuff that it doesn't matter. So I really like the way this deck looks. It looks fun and interesting. Splashing blue. This is just straight black. This is the only blue spell we have, really. So our mana base is actually really good. We already have how many blue sources? 3.
Yep.
And we already have 2 black sources and 2 green sources. All right, we look very well fixed.
So you don't need any more blue.
We don't need blue. We don't need red. Okay. So this is 11. So it's up either of these. We're mostly black, so I could see that. We do need the double black for Death Cult Rogue. We only need 1 green. We do need the green for our Gatekeeper Vine and our Axebane now, so maybe we want to do... I think this is good.
Yeah.
So this, let me make sure this is the right... This isn't the right amount of lands, is it? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, unfortunately. Okay. Maybe we want to even up. So this is 8 black sources, 8 green sources, 2 blue sources, or 3 blue sources. Yeah, this is satisfactory.
That's only 16 lands, though.
Oh, this is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, you're right. Okay, so let's put in the extra black. All right. Well, I think this is where we're going to run. The final list is 2 Bursts of Strength, Armed and Dangerous, Golgari Charm, Basilica Screecher, Gatekeeper Vine, Greenside Watcher, Stab Wound, Axebane Guardian, Death Cult Rogue, Gateway Shade, Hired Torturer, Stonefair Crocodile, Midnight Recovery, Ivy Lane Denizen, 2 Ubulsar Gatekeeper, Corrodes to Gorgon, Maze Abomination, Progenitor Mimic, Xanakiv Locust, Axebane Stag, Terra Swim. All right, that's going to be it for this podcast. If you want to watch the actual matches for this, I'm going to be posting that. We got a nice lengthy podcast this time around. Morgan, thanks a lot for coming on this podcast with us and helping us draft and everything and discussing Dragon's Maze with us. I'm really happy that we finally got a guest on our video podcast, so feel free to come back anytime too. I think people maybe are just getting... Jake and I fear is like that people are getting burned out on us talking all the time, so we really do want to make it a more like guest-intensive sort of podcast. But, you know, it's hard to get guests on here, so I'm really happy that you came on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And for everybody else, email me at mortarpod@seemsgoodmagic.com for any feedback on the podcast, any sort of events you want to see me make decks for and play. I've heard the people want me to make a block deck. I'm looking into that, see how expensive it is. Probably fairly cheap. You can also catch Jake and I live streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. I want to give a shout out to Andrew Liebler for making an awesome overlay for us for our live stream. It looks really nice, really cool. He did an excellent job, and I bought him into a draft to say thank you because I thought he did such a good job. I think that's it. Follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. And check out Morgan's drafts on seemsgoodmagic.com if you want to see a little bit of what she's done.
It's pretty vintage at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they're older sets, but if you want to see a little bit about like what her actual what her like drafting style is like and stuff like that, if you want to see that, go ahead and check out seemsgoodmagic.com. Check out the tag Morgan. I've tagged all of the draft videos that she did, and I think you wrote an article for us a long time ago too. So, all right, I think that's it for the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time.
See you later.
Adios.